Hello, folks. Welcome to the Solar Fit Renewable Energy Show. Bill Gallagher and my sidekick,
Gloria Edson.
We're on the road again. We're out here in Las Vegas for RE Plus 2025. Holy schmoko. I can't stop from saying SPI. We've been doing this for so many years, but it's evolved, and the plus actually is in storage. And let me tell you, there's some fantastic new options coming on board here. Got to give a shout out to our friends at Daytona Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram for their loyal support through the years, particularly to our driver, Mr.
Daniel Dye.
Driving full-time NASCAR in the Xfinity Series at number 10, Colleague Chevrolet. Finished top 10 probably 8 times in the last, since the start of the year, just rocketing to the top. Another podium finish, I'm sure, coming up here shortly. We got Bristol coming up, which is always a great track. I want to introduce our new friend and awesome Ashley Martin Golis. Ashley Martin, welcome.
Hi.
Did I pronounce your name right?
You did.
It is a cool name. It sounds European.
Awesome.
Ashley Martin. It's cool.
I made it up myself.
You did. I like that. I always like when there's another name attached to it because it symbolizes, I don't know, just authority.
Awesome.
Awesome. Well, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So you were with SPAN.
Yes.
And you are the marketing director.
That's right.
That's a very high title.
Oh, well, thank you.
It is. Oh, I always like to start out with a little bit of background. Okay, now, the reason that's interesting is how do people get into the renewable energy space? It's really of interest to me. Where'd you grow up?
Yes, so I grew up in Dallas, Texas, moved to the San Francisco Bay Area about 17 or 18 years ago to work in consumer technology. And so I started working on those products, became really interested in the renewable energy space, and made the jump over.
Wow, that was just about the right time, too.
Yeah.
That was when solar power was really coming into play.
Yes.
Years before that, kind of solar thermal kind of dominated, but solar power came in, and you jumped right in there.
Yes.
Geez, how did you end up with SPAN?
I've been really passionate about home electrification. So I think that, with everything that's going on in our climate, that switching over to electrical appliances is one of the things that we as individuals can do to try to make a difference. And so that's how I became aware of SPAN. And that's why, I approached them to start working for them and helping get the message out about home electrification and how to make that happen.
It's really cool if you really dial back the clock to when the first refrigerator came out and then the first TV came out. I remember the first TV we had, it would just kept rolling. Like it would roll like that. You go and you bang on it a few times, it just keeps rolling. And it was about I think the first TV I saw was like in the early 50s or something like that. It tells you how old I am. But, you transition forward and you see vehicles that once had a clutch and a shifter, and now everything. The kids these days can't drive a stick shift, right? It's just the transition's been incredible, and now we're talking about home automation.
Yeah.
So anybody out there listening, it's not aware. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So, you just mentioned, a home back in the 50s. Many of our homes were built then in terms of like the current home stock. And so electrical service sizes back then were way smaller. You maybe only had 100 amps or even fewer sometimes in your home. And that makes it really difficult to add an EV charger. Or sometimes you have to go chat with your utility to get like a higher electrical service size, and that can be both really expensive as well as really time consuming. And so one of the things that you can do instead is add a SPAN panel. And SPAN is a power control system, an energy management system, and that allows you to stay on your existing utility service size, right? Get better use out of the sort of utility resources that we already have, and still add those awesome electrical appliances that you want. You can have it all.
This is so cool, and that people are being educated about what's out there, and it's available now. And so if you're still out there taking out your fuse and putting the penny in there, you don't need to do that anymore.
Oh my gosh.
When you think, though, back in the 50s when the houses were being built, there was nothing about energy conservation involved in it. There really wasn't. I mean, if you had insulation in your attic, it's because you left Santa up there and he fell apart, right?
Yeah, well, our crystal balls weren't working back then. We didn't know all of this stuff that was coming, right?
Well, you're not old enough to remember the 8-ball?
Of course I do.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Your grandparents had to tell you about that.
No, actually, believe it or not, at the farmer's market this past weekend. We went to our favorite baker, and he had a Magic 8 Ball at the stand, and he showed it to my kids, and he predicted correctly with his Magic 8 Ball that the 49ers were going to win that.
Get out of town. It said that?
It really happened.
Why is it every time I do it, it says ask again later?
Oh, no.
I
who's
play
your
with that
team?
thing for...
Maybe that's the problem.
I did that for years, and I think my brother was doing something to my 8 Ball.
Yeah, maybe it's like a loaded dice.
But anyway, I digress. How the heck we get over there? I don't know. But we're talking about how things move forward, and where now we've got the automation. And,
yes.
So let's suppose I have a couple. I'll give a couple of scenarios. I've got a home that's kind of older, but it's really nice. I love it, and I love the old furniture I've got. But it just, man, I'd really like to have some solar power, and maybe, I like to have one of those brand new things called those EVs.
Yeah.
Okay, what can you do to help me?
Yes. So SPAN helps create a powerful energy foundation for your home that gives you a really flexible future. And so you can either, if you have an older panel that needs to be replaced, you can get a SPAN as your new main panel, and that will give you tons of space to land all kinds of new electrical loads like that EV charger, and you get the benefit of all of that power management as well. And SPAN comes with a really user-friendly mobile app that will give you visibility and insights into your home energy use. And so you can see, hey, I just added that hot tub, for example, and I'm wondering how much is that contributing to my electric bill every month? Or where are opportunities that I can have to save? So, for example, if you live in a place that has utility time of use rates where you can, pay less for using your appliances at different times, SPAN can help you understand which appliances, would actually make the biggest impact on your bill, and, how much you could potentially save. It's really cool.
That is the ultimate crystal ball. If that's the ultimate crystal ball, everyone wants to know that. How many hours a day do you spend in your hot tub, Gloria?
You mean the ocean?
So Gloria would be a perfect person to talk about this because she has solar power, she's got battery backup, she's got solar water heating, solar attic fan,
nice.
Everything. Her house, okay,
all electric.
Kind of got an older style panel in that, and she wants to get an EV, right?
Yeah.
So, would you suggest changing it out? Talk about your house a little bit.
Yeah, it was actually built in the 50s, so it's old, but the electrical panel box was updated probably about 10, maybe 15 years ago. So it's a newer electrical panel box. With the older one, they had it inside the house, and so I actually have two. I have one inside the house that was the older box, and then there's a newer one that's outside in the garage. So there's two of them. They're not. It's not a sub panel. It's two separate boxes, and my battery runs off of the. Well, I have that one and my PV on the garage. So it's So now, if I want to get an EV, how would I go about? Would I have to change out both boxes to have a smart app or whatever?
Yeah, this is great.
Question.
Yeah, so one of the things that we're showing here at the RE Plus show this week is our new expanded SPAN panel family. So there is now a SPAN panel for every home. So we are sort of known for our main panels, but now we have two smaller size panels that work great as a sub panel. And you can still do all of that cool stuff I was talking about with energy management and electrification and, power management, even with a sub panel. So what we can do is we can put current transformers on your upstream panel so that we can monitor the energy use for the whole home. And then we can have fine-grained control on any of the loads that you land into SPAN. So any of your new appliances that you wire up to the new panel.
Man, that is something that's so cool. So you don't need to change out the main panel if you don't want to.
That's right. You don't need to. I will tell you, you'll get better insights. If you're trying to see every single circuit and really, understand the impact that's having on your bill, or if you're, if you want to manage your backup. So that's another great thing that SPAN does. SPAN can actually help extend your battery backup. duration in an outage because we can control which of your appliances and circuits are powered in an outage. And so you get more control over that when you relocate all of your loads, but you don't have to. So especially if you're on a tight budget and you want to cut down on some of the labor from the electrician moving all of the loads from one panel to another, you can absolutely just move a few into span panel and get those great benefits.
Well, I think that's really valuable too. So let's suppose we live in Florida, and there's this thing they call hurricanes.
We've heard about those.
They come along right when you least expect them, when you really don't want them. But if you're away from home, correct me if I'm wrong on this, if you're away from home and you have a span panel, you can actually use your cell phone to change the loads. Say I'm running an air conditioner, and I'm looking at my cell phone and going on my battery, right?
That's right.
Boy, that thing is starting to run down a little bit. Maybe I'll shut the air conditioner off. You can do that with span?
You can totally do that with span.
Whoa.
Yeah. And you can also get like some extra peace of mind too. Like, let's say you leave the house and you're like, oh my gosh, did I leave the space heater on? You can actually go into individual circuits and turn them on and off manually.
Wow.
So you can do it in the automated way where you set, hey, these are my preferences. So if there's an outage and I'm not at home, then span will take care of it for you. But you can also go in there yourself and you have that control to be able to change what those things are.
So does it have the capacity, say you've got a teenage boy and he spends too much time in the shower, can you turn the water off too? No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, I guess you could turn the hot water heater off and then it would just get cold.
That's about doing it.
But you could turn off the PS5 by just shutting off the living room outlets if you were trying to make sure that he studied.
Okay, folks, there's next we're going to figure out how to feed that teenage boy. I don't know if that's part of this. That's the next session anyway. Yeah, you guys are ingenious. I think you're right on the cutting edge, aren't you?
Yes, absolutely. We're setting the new standard for home energy.
Oh, geez, what's coming down the line? What are you seeing?
One of the things that we're previewing from our roadmap here at the show is an integration with Matter-enabled appliances. So there are a lot of thermostats out there that are using the Matter standard, which is a smart home standard. So what that lets us do in the future is be able to control your HVAC system, which is one of the largest loads in the home. And so we can get really fine-grained with that control to keep people comfortable and also make sure that they're staying within their service rating. It's pretty cool.
That is really, really cool technology. What do you think, Gloria?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I want one.
Gloria has just got everything. She sees one of these things, she's going to have it in her house. When can it be installed?
So, if you're interested in getting a span panel, you can go to our website, span.io, and we will introduce you to a certified installer in your area who can come out and take a look at your site and make specific recommendations on which of our span panels is best for you.
Really, I guess what I'm trying to understand is where you sell most of your products. Is it the Southeast? Is it the Northeast? Is it the West? Or is it all over the world?
We have span panels installed in every state in the country.
Really?
Yes. So, we are EV, solar, and battery ready right out of the box. So the same states that are doing really well in terms of solar and battery and EV adoption are also, sort of the biggest markets for us in terms of being a smart panel.
Oh, man. This is really, really interesting. We're going to take a short break, folks. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hi folks, Bill Gallagher with SolarFit here. Have you ever thought about utilizing solar power for your home or business? Well, there's never been a better time to plug into the sun and stop renting electricity. How would you like to let your roof start paying you each month? Give us a call at 445-7606. That's 445-7606. Or visit us at solarfit.com and set yourself free.
SolarFit your life and set yourself free with the sun's free energy.
Hey, folks, welcome back to the SolarFit Renewable Energy Show. Bill Gallagher.
And Gloria Edson.
If you missed the first part, please look at our podcast or tune back in or something because it was really good. We're with Ashley Martin Golis, and we're talking with her. She's with SPAN, and she knows everything about everything. We should have been talking during the break because we gave me an education and Gloria too. How about utility scale, commercial stuff? What are you doing in that realm?
SPAN works with small commercial, either in single phase, and we also have products for utilities. So, for example, right now with our current fleet of SPAN panels in Northern California, we're doing a pilot with PG&E for a program this summer that they call SAVE. It's the Seasonal Aggregation of Versatile Energy. It's basically a demand response program, but it's using SPAN panels. It's really cool. So basically, the same technology that we use to keep homes safely on their utility service. So folks signed up for this program, which is a pilot. They're getting extra compensation in exchange for testing to see what is it like if they temporarily lower how much energy they're using in their home. And we do it through the SPAN panel. So they don't have to do anything themselves. We handle it for them, and largely they don't even notice. So we're just, we're turning down their EV charger so it charges a little bit slower. Maybe we turn off their hot water heater. They've still got that full tank of hot water, so they don't even notice. And it allows the utility to get greater utilization out of all of their existing infrastructure. And it keeps homeowners comfortable, and it allows them to get some extra incentives too.
You kind of piqued my interest when you said single phase 208 small commercial.
Yes,
we do a lot of that down in Florida. That's kind of something we love to do.
Tell me about what kind of businesses.
Well, we manufacturing plants, the car dealerships. Storage facilities,
cool.
Just churches, a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
The one I'm thinking about now, we're doing our third rendition. This one customer actually had 3 different meters. One was non-demand, so we installed a system. Now they have no bill, pay $25 bill. Then we installed a second system on a demand. And now we're installing the third system on a demand system, but we're trying to help them on the demand part. Can SPAN do anything on that? I mean, can it monitor and turn off certain things and look at the peaks or anything like that, or is that just batteries?
Yes, absolutely. So, we have SPAN panels installed in some, restaurants, in churches, and in other small commercial. And yes, absolutely. All of the same things that I was talking about earlier in terms of, load management, in shedding loads, especially if you're in an off-grid situation, all of those will work for small commercial too.
That is interesting. We'll have to talk offline about that one particular customer. But
yeah, sure.
It's a big thing in Florida. We can take away all the kilowatt usage, but we can't do anything about the demand without the batteries. And the batteries right now are, boy, there's full speed ahead, right? We want to see America do a little bit, get more involved in it. But
well, and there's all those incentives that are going away at the end of this year. So we've seen, a SPAN panel, it can be included, by the way, in your investment tax credit filing. So for folks who are trying to get those projects done this year, include your SPAN panel.
Pick up the phone and call today. We talked a little bit about the 1950s homes. Let's talk about new construction.
Yes. So there are several builders that are, both custom builder and production builders that are starting to include SPAN panel in these new homes. So you're really starting with that strong foundation from the future. You've got all of that built-in smarts and intelligence in all of your home energy use. And so from the moment you first move in, right, now you can feel confident in, I know how my energy is being used, and I know that I can add whatever upgrades I want as my family grows, as my life changes, because people are intending to stay in that home for many years, and SPAN is a great way to give them that foundation.
That makes way too much sense, really. I mean, if I were a home builder, which thank God I'm not, I would look at things a little different. I would look at not the cookie cutter home. I would look at including SPAN in all my homes, and I would. There's certainly a little bit of an upcharge at it, but now they're poised for, even when they sell the house, whoever moves in there is going to benefit from that.
That's right. And builders can actually save money on some of their processes by including SPAN. So, especially if you're a builder and developer, if you were going to have to, for an all-electric or electric-ready homes, you might have had to put in 300, 400 amp service, and that costs more from a, build, construction, land development perspective. But instead, if you use SPAN, can, and you can stay on those smaller services, like maybe only 200 amps, you can save up to $10,000 per home in costs to get that home ready. And you're delivering that better experience with that visibility and those energy insights.
Yeah, it's amazing. So in Florida, we've got a couple of things. We've got, beyond the hurricanes, we've got the air conditioning, which is a big draw, but we also have a preponderance of electric water heating, and that's expensive. Like every time you turn your faucet on, hot water leaves the tank, cold water comes in, a 4,500-watt element comes on, right?
That's right.
Being able to control something like that, I think, would be huge.
Yes.
If you didn't need it, right?
Yes. I heard a customer say to me yesterday that the hot water heater can almost become a kind of battery. So, you can, especially if you have like multiple tiers of utility rates, right? Fully fill and heat up your entire, hot water tank while you're in the lower energy cost, and then, turn it off. Or don't, either through a span or through your own use, right? Basically, you've almost saved up this energy for when it was cheaper, and now you can take your shower whenever you want, and take advantage of those lower utility rates. We're
fortunate so far in Florida that we don't have a lot of time of use, but it's coming. Coming, and we really believe that the batteries are going to be a big help in that. But I think the span panels, in addition to the batteries, are even better.
Yes, absolutely.
It's the ultimate: solar batteries and the span panel.
Yeah, or even just folks who want to, do self-consumption. They want to be using the energy that they produced. Span can absolutely help them do that.
Jeez, man. Okay, so what's the future? What's going on? Get that crystal ball out. You guys are always inventing something here.
Yeah, so we were showing one roadmap item here. I think I talked about it earlier, those Matter-enabled thermostats. And, we've got lots more fun stuff coming, and we're really excited for the future.
You don't want to tell us about those, is it? Ladies and gentlemen, this will not be revealed on this show. But be prepared. There's a lot more down the road. But boy, you guys have done such a wonderful job. You've made a mark in the industry for sure.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. We're really proud to contribute.
Yeah. So are you based in San Francisco? Where's your factory?
Our headquarters is based in San Francisco.
Okay.
Our products are manufactured in Mexico.
Okay, all right. Gosh darn. That's good. Any issues with the tariff coming up? We're all
None
good
for
there?
us.
All good. Hey, that's so good.
Yes, so far so good. We're keeping a close eye on things to make sure we know, but that's right. We're not experiencing any right now.
It's an interesting time.
Indeed.
It's an interesting time, but you know what? The solar industry is probably one of the most resilient industries in the history of the world as we know it.
Hey, we're creating resilience. We need to be resilient ourselves.
Yeah. But just the whole notion of being able to do everything remotely to benefit your home and come home and it's just the perfect temperature, right? You've saved all this energy and money. It's like, holy mackerel. We talk about that all the time. What's the benefit of going solar? What's the benefit of energy conservation and stuff like that? Because as we get older, and we have maybe limited resources because maybe we're retired, maybe we're living on Social Security, like Gloria owning her own home, owning her energy supply and stuff like that becomes even more important.
It does. It certainly does. I'm just thinking about customers that maybe have a higher bill and can't figure out why their energy is, where their energy is going. This would be a perfect solution for those customers.
There's not a lot of expense to it. It's not like a huge investment. It's an investment as opposed to an expenditure.
That's right, and it's that feeling of abundance that you get when you are making your own energy and knowing where it goes.
Yeah, there's something about that energy freedom thing. I really like
that.
Right. I grew up in the Adirondack Mountains of upstate New York, where people are very, very independent. Mm-hmm. Right, and I always talk about this. If somebody says, "Hey, I'd like to take you for a canoe ride," you say, "No, I'm driving." One of those two. So this whole, energy freedom thing, I think that's what America was built on. That's what we should be doing, taking care of all our resources.
Yeah, for sure.
So what do you think about renewable energy? Right, the growth of that. What's the path look like in your vision?
I think, renewable energy it has been on an amazing trajectory so far. And I think that, there are a lot of forces that are happening in the industry right now. I think AI and the fact that that's driving so much data center growth, that people want EVs, they want these other electrical appliances. I think that means that the demand for this technology, for renewable energy, for other energy management solutions is going to continue. And I think that there's so much of that that's already in motion that, noise that we might hear on the news is not going to impact that.
Yeah, I agree with 100%. There's, years ago when solar was just starting, it was an up and down thing. We actually lost the tax credit. 1985 went to zero. Mm-hmm. It was at 40% at that time. It was supposed to go to 30, 20, 10 whole and phase out. But not only did we survive that, we prospered. But now there's so much inertia. I mean, you walk downstairs, there's 40,000 people in the renewable energy space.
Absolutely,
and they are all got a big smile on their face. Which is interesting. They all have a big smile, don't they?
Yes. It's been an awesome show. There are so many folks here, and everybody is really fired up.
I was thinking when I was walking down around there today, I said, wouldn't it be great if they had some kind of a show that you just went in a straight line? You know what I'm saying? And you almost have to have a GPS to get around down there.
Absolutely. We're all getting our 20,000 steps this week, aren't we?
Yeah. The finding the food courts is pretty interesting, too.
Yes.
It's just a big map and stuff, but this has been so much fun. Folks, we're speaking with Ashley Martin-Golis from Span. She's doing a wonderful job of educating us. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. Well, Gloria, that was wonderful. Man, I'll tell you what, I feel like we're well educated. Did you put your order in yet?
I have.
You already? So during the show, folks, Gloria was ordering her Span for her house. And it should be in about a couple weeks. Anyway, we're going to sign off for now. We'll talk to you again later. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.